Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. We all know Wix as a website builder which is used to create very static simple website using drag and drop methods, right? But in this channel we are going to explore advanced functionalities that Wix holds, right? um, we can create dynamic pages, we can insert data, we can have collections, we can create an online website using this, right? So in this channel we are going to see what are the advanced functionalities is there in Wix. So for that we are going to create some projects, right? So the first project that we are going to create is inventory management system, and let us quickly jump to see what we are going to build. So when we open Wix, we'll see this kind of dashboard here. I'll select one of my site. This I have recently created. Okay, so there we can see that we can connect a custom domain, but we don't want to we don't want to create any domain as of now. We just want to create a simple site, not a simple site. We are not going to use the existing functionalities that Wix have, but we are going to develop something out of the box, right? We'll be making use of Velo, which is a coding platform by Wix, and then based on that we will see like what is the actual capability of Wix, like how can we use advanced functionalities that are offered by Wix. Okay, so right now it says that we can generate a design with AI or customize a template, or like we can continue without setup. So right now I'm continuing without setup or now. Okay, so once it is loaded, again we have this connect a custom domain, something like this, but we'll directly go to design site. Okay, then I'll say pick a template. From here, like I will search for blank template because I want to design it from scratch. Okay, I want you guys to see how can we design it from scratch, and also we don't want to design any site. We are basically building a kind of web app for inventory management, right? Our project is to create an inventory management which can be used by any chemist shop or any shop that where they can manage their inventories, like addition of the product while selling. They can monitor like how many quantities is left in their warehouses, something like that. Okay, so for that what I am doing is I am going with blank template. Here also we get multiple options, like we can start from full scratch, like no minimalist, nothing, no layout in the site. Okay, या फिर we can go with minimal layout, classic layout. मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस आर देयर. सो राइट नाउ मैं स्क्रैच से स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ. ओके, लेट इट लोड. It will take some time. Let's wait for some time and then it will be loaded. Okay, so if you are seeing this video, like I hope you have very basic understanding of Wix, like what these elements are, sections are, menus, site, ads, all these things. You are aware of this because I'm not going to go through all these things. मैं directly right now what I am focusing is to show you how, like जो advanced functionalities हैं Wix की, how can we use them. Okay, so here if you see, this is the page, right? We can manage multiple pages over here. Right now this is the home page. So the first thing that we are going to do is a form. We are going to create a form in which we are going to add the inventory in our system, right? हमें like to create a inventory, हमारे पास कोई फॉर्म होना चाहिए, right? In which we are going to like name the product or mention what the quantity is, something like that. Okay, so for that also see, right now you can see that this is very basic editor. We don't have anything where we can code and all. So for that, here if you see, we have dev mode, right? So if I click on dev mode, we have options to enable the dev mode. So see, on turn on dev mode, once I click on this, so it will turn on the developer mode. By developer mode I mean inside this you can have, sorry, so inside this you can have multiple things to do, like you can code whatever you want to do. In the home page we have this on ready function, right? This on ready function executes when this page is loaded. Okay, okay, so Here we have the backend code, the public codes, the service plugins if we want to use. Here we have the databases. So this is your collections. You can create multiple collections. Collections are basically kind of containers in which you are going to put your data. So see, Wix usually works on NoSQL database. So when we try to, by NoSQL I means the data is stored in a JSON object format. Okay, although when we are going to see the data, it is going to be presentable in a table format, but at the backend it works on the JSON format. So we name it as NoSQL. Okay, these are some external databases. Like if you want to connect with any other external database system, then you can connect it from here. Like if I click on add external database, we have multiple options for Azure, Amazon Web Service, custom, or Google Cloud. So if you want, you can connect those databases over here and then use those databases to populate the things in the Wix. Okay, but right now we are going with I'll show you all the external databases connection as well, but in the later videos. But today we are going to create our own collection over here, and then we are going to see how we can like insert the data in the collections through code. Okay, not through any functionalities that is already existing in Wix. ठीक है, हमें यहाँ पे दिख रहा है दिस इज़ अ कोड एडिटर विंडो. ये वाइट स्पेस जो ऊपर है ये हमारी एडिटिंग विंडो है इन विच हम एलिमेंट्स को प्लेस करेंगे. एलिमेंट्स बाय एलिमेंट आई मीन इनपुट एलिमेंट्स और images, something like that, to make the website look good, right? But we are not making website, हम यहाँ पे वेब ऐप बनाने वाले हैं. ओके, सो फर्स्ट फंक्शनलिटी जो हमें करनी है. Okay, before going to the functionality, I want you guys to know some basic things of Velo. Okay, so sorry, let me open the code editor again. If you see here, right, we have this onReady function over here. Okay, how it works is whatever I'm going to write here, right, this is Velo code, but the syntax is similar to JavaScript. Okay, so by what I mean by it, so if you say console.log hello world, right, it's the first thing that we do. So now I have mentioned that hello world will be printed in console, but when you run it in any browser, right, the console, if you want to open console, you right click and inspect it, right? But here how can we see this console, right? Console print कहाँ पे दिखेगा हमें? So if you click on this preview site right here, so हमारे पास ये पेज जो है ये लोड होगा, the website will run and you will see the hello world, whatever it's been printed in the console, it will be reflected over here. Okay, so this is the use of console. We can do some different things as well. For example, same thing, like let a equals to 10, let b is equals to 20, and console.log a plus b, and again if I click on preview, you will see that a plus b 30 is printed over here. The result is printed over here. Okay, so now we'll start with the very basic. The first thing that we need to do is, if we want to see what we are planning to build, okay, first let us discuss that. We are going to create inventory management system. In inventory management system, what will be the functionalities of inventory management system? First thing is, जो भी user है, he or she will be able to add a new product to the database. Okay, first functionality. Second functionality, let's suppose आपकी एक shop है, right? We'll take an example of chemist shop and we are going to create inventory management for a chemist only. Okay, right now for this particular video or for this particular project. Okay, so इसमें हम क्या करने वाले होंगे? पहले we are going to add products. Okay, which means कि database में data insert करना पड़ेगा हमें first of all. Second, whenever a customer comes to chemist, what he is going to do is, पहले वो product को search करेगा whether that particular product is like there in his inventory or not. Okay, so for that एक और पेज बनाएंगे हम, in which एक स्क्रीन और बनाएंगे in which जो भी products we are going to add here, by name we are going to search in that particular screen. सर्च करने के बाद we'll see कि do we have the required quantity. जैसे let's suppose customer is asking कि मेरे को 4 pieces चाहिए, like the quantity is 4, and in our inventory we'll see whether the quantity is present or not, or how many quantities are there. Let's suppose there are 4 quantities, then what we are going to mention is कि हमारे पास 4 quantity है and the customer is asking for 4 quantity, then we are going to remove it. Okay, and accordingly we are going to update the inventory from that screen. And one more thing that we are going to do is maintaining the logs of all the operations. ठीक है, जैसे कोई नया प्रोडक्ट हमने इन्वेंट्री में ऐड किया, कोई हमने प्रोडक्ट को अपडेट किया, कोई प्रोडक्ट सेल किया, ऑल दोज थिंग्स वी आर गोइंग टू ऐड इन द इन्वेंट्री, या लॉग्स, या फिर लेट्स सपोज transaction log, something like that we are going to maintain, so that like if we want to see कि इस month में how many things we have done, how many operations we have done, all those things will be logged and saved somewhere. Okay, so we'll start with the very first thing जो कि है we have to add or we have to create an inventory first. Okay, so first of all I will create a design, very simple design for it. Okay, so if you see here, right, we can add element, design section, AI section generator, something like this, but I want to add an element, very simple. Okay, so here if you go, you will see something input, something like input here, right? This input is basically an input box. Okay, so let's suppose I created one box here, then I want to name it, like उसका जो label है I want to change it to product name. Okay, product name, type I will change it to simple text, placeholder I want to keep something placeholder, and enter medicine name. Okay, and then if you want to have something like character limit, pattern validation, something like this, then we can have it. This is something as well, error message format, tooltip as well. So I don't want to do anything. Like if you want to design something, you can do it by your own. Okay, thoda simple, like if I want to go design something, I can click on this design and I can choose any one of the following from here. Okay, like if I want, or also अगर मेरे को और कस्टमाइज करनी है, then I can choose customize, and then based on this I can make the edits. But right now I'm just focusing on the functionality rather than the design. Okay, so what I will say is this is product name. If I press Ctrl D, this particular element will be copied. Okay, and I want this element to be copied, so here after name, product name, I want to have the quantity. Okay, how many quantities we are going to add. So for that again I am going to change it to number, because quantity will be in number, and then quantity. Okay, I am going to say that enter the quantity, and we'll leave the other fields as it is and save it. Okay, so we have product name, we have quantity, and like I also want to see कि product हमने किस date पे add किया है. So see, there can be a case हमारे पास we in the collection हमारे पास already एक created date की field होती है. I will let you know कि collections में कौन कौन सी inbuilt और system generated fields हैं, and collection में like हम कौन सी फील्ड ऐड कर सकते हैं. बट राइट नाउ मैं थोड़ी फंक्शनलिटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सोच रहा हूँ कि हो सकता है कि केमिस्ट ने कल कोई एक मेडिसिन आई, कल कोई मेडिसिन ऐड करी इन्वेंट्री में, बट ही फॉरगेट्स टू ऐड इट एंड ही इज ट्राइंग टू ऐड इट टुडे. सो उस केस में वी नीड अ डेट वैल्यू एज वेल ओवर हियर. ओके, मतलब हमें डेट भी चाहिए कि हो सकता है हमें 12, मतलब आज जो भी डेट है, द डेट एट विच आई एम रिकॉर्डिंग दिस वीडियो, मैंने कल कोई इन्वेंट्री में नई वैल्यू इंसर्ट की होगी. सो आई वांट दैट डेट कि वो कल की डेट रिफ्लेक्ट करे, राइट. सो एक मैंने यहाँ से डेट की इनपुट उठा ली है. ओके, सो आई विल आस्क देम टू select a date, and this, like if you say settings, we can also see this is the input field, right. We can have placeholder text, if you want to have some placeholder, that select date. Okay, so this will reflect this here. Okay, we can mention it as required. So if you say required, then this star sign is there, right. Same if I go here and if I say this is required, again here, and if I say this is required. Okay, so I mentioned all these three fields to be required. Okay, one more thing, then व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू इज, मैंने प्रोडक्ट नेम ऐड किया, मैंने क्वांटिटी ऐड करी, मैंने चूज अ डेट करी, ओके। इतनी चीज़ों के बाद लेट मी प्रीव्यू दिस साइट, ओके। मैंने तीन, कुछ नहीं किया है, तीन इनपुट वैल्यूज ऐड करी है। सो लेट सपोज मैंने प्रोडक्ट का नेम डाला एविल 25 mg, ओके। क्वांटिटी डाली, लेट सपोज 100 यूनिट्स आर देयर, और डेट डाली मैंने, रिमूव दिस, डेट डाली मैंने आज की, ओके। नाउ आई वांट टू ऐड दिस पर्टिकुलर record in our collection, okay। so for that, इसके बाद what I want is कि एक बटन रहे मेरे पास, right। so I can select an element again from here, बटन पे जाऊंगा और एक बटन यहाँ लेके आके यहाँ पे कहीं पे भी यहाँ पे रख लेता हूँ, ओके। और इसको बड़ा कर लेते हैं, इसको सेंटर पे ले आते हैं, ओके। नाउ थोड़ा सा तो बिल्कुल बिल्कुल थोड़ी सी एडिटिंग, लाइक आई वांट टू नेम इट एज ऐड प्रोडक्ट या फिर ऐड टू इन्वेंट्री, समथिंग लाइक दिस, ओके एंड ओके। सो हमें ये तीन चीज़ करके एंड देन ऐड टू इन्वेंट्री करना है। ऐड टू इन्वेंट्री करने के बाद हमारा प्रोडक्ट इन्वेंट्री में ऐड हो जाना चाहिए, ओके। बट ओके, सो ऐड टू इन्वेंट्री, प्रोडक्ट ऐड होना चाहिए। ऐड होने के लिए अब कलेक्शन कौन से में ऐड होगा, क्या होगा, सो फॉर दैट हम एक कलेक्शन बनाएंगे, ओके। सो फॉर क्रिएटिंग अ कलेक्शन, राइट, यहाँ से इफ़ यू हैव दिस, इफ़ यू सी दिस, राइट, व्हेन यू इनेबल डेव मोड, राइट, हमारे पास ये लेफ्ट वाले एक पैनल में हमारे पास मल्टीपल थिंग्स आती हैं, ओके। इधर पे इफ़ यू सी दिस ऑप्शन, दिस पर्टिकुलर ऑप्शन, लाइक इट सेज डेटाबेसेस, ओके। सो यहाँ पे मैं जाऊँगा, योर कलेक्शन पे क्लिक करूँगा, ऐड, एंड आई विल क्रिएट अ न्यू कलेक्शन ओवर हेयर, ओके। गेट स्टार्टेड, it says you can create it with AI, start from scratch or import from CSV. I don't want to do with AI or import CSV, I just want to start it from scratch. I will select this option and click on next. Now they say, now it says like what do you want to name the collection. अब मेरे को नेम क्या करना है इस कलेक्शन का, तो I will say products, ओके। मेरे को प्रोडक्ट्स नेम करना है एंड सेट अ कलेक्शन आईडी टू यूज इन योर कोड। सो व्हेन वी आर ट्राइंग टू राइट कोड फॉर इट, एंड जब हमें इसमें डेटा इंसर्ट करना पड़ेगा या फिर हमें इस पर्टिकुलर कलेक्शन में कुछ इंसर्ट करना है, वी विल नीड दिस आईडी, ओके। दिस प्रोडक्ट्स आईडी ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग इज प्रोडक्ट्स, ओके। सो आई विल कॉपी दिस आईडी, और इट सेज कि व्हाट टाइप ऑफ कलेक्शन डू यू वांट। व्हाट टाइप ऑफ कलेक्शन इज कि इस पर्टिकुलर कलेक्शन में मल्टीपल आइटम्स हो सकते हैं, ये सिंगल आइटम कलेक्शन रहेगा। सो I don't want it to be a single item collection. एक ही collection में we can have multiple items. So I will say multiple items and I will click on create. Okay. So once you click on create, if you see here, we have add fields option over here. So if I click on add fields, we have some formats. मतलब फील्ड को किस टाइप का रखना है, ओके। सो सी हियर वी हैव टेक्स्ट रिच कंटेंट, यूआरएल, नंबरिंग, टेक्स्ट, मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस आते हैं राइट नाउ। पहली जो हमारी फील्ड है दैट इज नेम, राइट। सो उसको टेक्स्ट फॉर्मेट में रखूंगा, राइट, टेक्स्ट, एंड आई विल चूज फील्ड, आई वांट टू नेम इट, सो आई विल से प्रोडक्ट नेम, ओके। आई विल नेम PS प्रोडक्ट space name, and field name I will have it in this case only, okay. Now if you want to have some help text, you can have it. If you want to encrypt this field, because see there are some like passwords and there are some fields that we want to encrypt. If you don't want the users or the admins or anyone to see like what is the value over there, then we can have this encrypt method over here. But I want the product name to be seen on the collection, so मैं ये encrypt value को on नहीं कर रहा हूँ. We can have some validations as well over here, like without this product को insert करना is not possible. Like if I make this as required field, then आप जब मैं इस पे insertion operation try कर रहा हूँगा और ये field अगर पास नहीं करता हूँ तो ये insert नहीं करने देगा, okay. And we can also assign some default values to it, but अभी मैं इन सब का use नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है. Settings में I am just saving it. So we got this product name field here. Same way में I will add one quantity field as well, which will be number type, and I'll make it as quantity, okay. Field ID is quantity. I'll save it, and then I will have one more thing which will be kind of, I'll for date, right? I want to show date. So date can be of type date time or date time, right? So I will say that one date, choose field. I will say this as created date, or let's name it created date only. Okay, save it. So these three fields we have created. Now like if you remember, I have shown you some I have already told that there are some system generated fields as well. So if you click on this manage field, right, this here, so if you click on this manage field, we have these system generated field as well: id, created date, updated date, owner, right? So if you want, we can enable all this, that I want to see all these fields, right? These are system generated. Whenever you insert something, then it will be generated automatically. This id we use it like very much everywhere. We use this id, so I always have it checked. I want to see what is the id of this product is. Okay, so we have created one products. Okay, now on add of this particular thing, I want to insert that value in the product table. Okay, so let's do it now. First of all, what I am going to do is like I have opened this code panel over here, this product name, right? You see this input hashtag input one. This hashtag basically is id of this particular field. Okay, and how can we change this id of this input field is from here, right? You see this input here. So what I will say is this is the product name here. Okay, product name here. This is the quantity here, sorry, quantity, quantity here, and this is the date or created date. Okay, and this add to inventory, I will give the id as add. So now you see id of this particular field is product name, id of this field is quantity, id of this date is created date, and id of this particular button is add hashtag add, right? Now what I am going to do is I am going to define a function on this. See, you can add some functions from here as well. Like when you click here, right, you have on blur, on click, on double click, on focus, mouse in, mouse out, viewport enter, viewport leave, right? You can enable it from here as well, but we are not going to, as I have already told, we are not going to use any of the functionality from what is there on Wix. We are going to code it from scratch. Okay, so what I am going to do is this add this button, right? For selecting this button, what is the syntax? $w hashtag add, right? This hashtag add is the id of this particular button. Now I am going to say dot, right, dot on click, then there is a callback function, and now what I am going to do is console.log. I am going to say just button is clicked. Okay, so in this way we have successfully attached a function to this particular, attached an event to this particular button. Okay, how can we verify that on click this particular thing will be executed is I've previewed the site. Let's open this console. Like this is the developers console. I will open it. I will click on this add to inventory, and we can see this button is clicked, right? If I click on multiple times, then we can see that we are getting this button is clicked, right? Now what I need to do is when I click on this particular button, उस मोमेंट पे प्रोडक्ट नेम में, क्वांटिटी में एंड चूज डेट में क्या वैल्यूज हैं, वी नीड टू सी दैट. ओके, सो फॉर दैट फर्स्ट आई नीड टू fetch the values, right? So what I will say is let product name is equals to what, how I am going to fetch the product name, same id के basis पे, right? So we are going to select that particular input field, right? Dollar product name dot, we have something like value. Okay, so what we'll say product name में इस particular फील्ड की जो भी वैल्यू है वो पुट करो, राइट? देन आई विल से लेट क्वांटिटी इज इक्वल्स टू क्वांटिटी डॉट वैल्यू, राइट? एंड let date is equals to hashtag created date dot value, right? अब ये तीनों की वैल्यूज मेरे पास प्रोडक्ट नेम, क्वांटिटी एंड डेट में आ गई है. नाउ व्हाट आई विल डू इज एक बार कंसोल पे वापस से प्रिंट करवा के देखते हैं. व्हाट इज द प्रोडक्ट नेम कॉमा quantity comma date, right? Okay, let's preview it again. Okay, medicine name again I will 25 mg, right? I'll say the quantity as 100 and date I will select it today's date only. Okay, and I will click on add to inventory. So it says button is clicked. I will 25 mg 100 Monday December 1 2025 and this is the time. Okay, so we are good, we are getting the values from here, right? So now we want to add this particular product whatever is mentioned in the input field to our collection. So for that what I am going to do is I'm going to make use of one library that is Wix data. Okay, so how can we import it? I'll say import Wix data from Wix data. Okay, so we'll say import Wix data from Wix data. सो ये जो विक्स डेटा है, ये वाली जो लाइब्रेरी है, हेयर हमारे पास मल्टीपल फंक्शंस हैं, लाइक गेटिंग अ रो, इंसर्टिंग अ रो, अपडेटिंग अ रो, डिलीटिंग अ रो, समथिंग लाइक दैट. सो अभी फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर यूज केस हमें क्या करना है, ऐड इन्वेंट्री पे जब हम क्लिक करेंगे सो वी विल मेक यूज ऑफ विक्स डेटा डॉट इंसर्ट. और इंसर्ट में फॉर इंसर्टिंग अ वैल्यू इन द डेटाबेस हमें पहले एक ऑब्जेक्ट बनाना पड़ेगा, राइट? सो व्हाट आई विल से इज लेट टू इंसर्ट ऑब्जेक्ट, जो भी ये ऑब्जेक्ट है उस वो ऑब्जेक्ट की फील्ड्स क्या रहेंगी, फील्ड्स सेम रहेंगी जो हमारी हमने अभी ये प्रोडक्ट, ये जो हमारी पर्टिकुलर कलेक्शन था, राइट? इसमें इफ़ यू सी वी हैव प्रोडक्ट नेम, राइट? विल कॉपी दिस फील्ड, सॉरी आई विल से प्रोडक्ट नेम, अरे आई विल से प्रोडक्ट नेम इज दिस प्रोडक्ट नेम जो अभी हमने यहाँ से फेच किया, राइट? देन आई विल मेंशन क्वांटिटी, ये क्वांटिटी जो कि हमारी हम नंबर है ये, तो हम नंबर में हमारी क्वांटिटी को चेंज कर लेंगे, राइट? देन हमारी क्रिएटेड डेट, राइट? सो क्रिएटेड डेट विल बी न्यू डेट ऑफ इस डेट की, राइट? इस डेट की आप हमें न्यू डेट की वैल्यू इस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में सेव करवा दो, राइट? सो ये हमारा एक ऑब्जेक्ट है. अब इस ऑब्जेक्ट को आई वांट टू इंसर्ट इन दिस पर्टिकुलर कलेक्शन. उसके लिए व्हाट आई विल डू इज विक्स डेटा, राइट? दिस इज द सिंटैक्स, विक्स डेटा डॉट इंसर्ट. और इंसर्ट में देख सी इंसर्ट, if you hover over it or it says, right, we need a collection id and we need the item that we want to insert. Okay, so इधर पे collection id is basically this products, right? जो हमारा ये है products में what you want to insert is to insert जो ये वाला object है. So once this is a promise, to resolve this promise and to see the value we'll use dot then operator and we'll get a response and we are going to console.log the response as well as we are going to console.log that the product is inserted in the collection. Okay, we are also going to catch for any error. If there is any error then we are going to console.log for any error. Okay, so this is what I am going to do now. Okay, so let's see if it works fine. We are going to preview it again. And I am going to mention the same name. I will 25 mg, quantity should be 100 and date I am going to select it today's date. Okay, so okay, today's date, and then I'm clicking on add to inventory. So you see product is inserted in the collection. If you open this, we say product name, quantity, created date, then we have this underscore id underscore owner underscore created date and updated date as well over here, right? So okay, and now where we can see this particular this particular insertion is, you can open your collection products. When you open it, you will see one particular row, created row over here, which says product name is this, quantity is this, and created date is this. It says that this particular option, this is coming as a date and time format, right? This is not coming as a date format. So if I click on this convert to date, then it will convert that particular field to date only. Okay, so this is how you can insert, or you can create the data inside a collection. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next video, what I am going to show is, first we are going to insert some more values in this collection, and once we have inserted those values, I am going to show you कि हम उनको how we can show them in a list, कि हमारे पास कौन कौन सी particular medicines are available in our inventory, वो सब हम list में show करने वाले हैं. In that we are going to create some filters कि name wise we can search, right, कि let's suppose Evil 25 mg is there or not, or let's suppose we have Combiflim tablet with us or not, something like that we are going to create. Okay, filters. Then we are also going to do some operations, right? When a chemist, as I have already mentioned, when a chemist came on a chemist shop, when a customer came, customer asked for some medicines or something like that, right? So chemist जब उसको medicine देगा, he will update the quantity, and accordingly we will update in our particular product this particular collection. So all those things we are going to do in the next videos. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.